I didn't even know who Cheyenne Bryant was until about 2 weeks ago. I was not familiar with her body of work. And in fact, today, I'm not even going to get into the controversy about her academic credentials. But I did find myself drawn into a deep rabbit hole of her interviews and what other people have said about her. And what struck me about her interviews when challenged about why don't you just show your academic credentials, she immediately reverted to something called spiritual bypassing. That's where you invoke God to avoid any further discussion or to justify your actions without having to deal with any deep reflection. All of us do it on some level or another. This is what it looks like. In the Black church, sometimes the church mothers would come up to you and say, "Baby, how you doing?" The typical answer is, "I'm blessed and highly favored of the Lord." No matter what's going on in your life, it could be an awful day. Your life could be going down the tank. That's spiritual bypassing. I bring this up because in democracy, there's a form of spiritual bypassing that's been happening, especially among those of us who call ourselves people of faith, Christian in particular, and in particular among a subgroup of Christians who support this current administration. Last week, I heard a Christian influencer, public intellectual is a better way to put it, call a version of this crotch Christianity, where some Christians are willing to contort themselves into all manner of intellectual and spiritual and moral and ethical pretzels in order to justify some of the words and actions of this administration. For instance, the golden statue down in Mar-a-Lago, the Rededicate 250, justifying the war, justifying the cruelty of the immigration raids. As long as their version of biblical sexuality is upheld, they're willing to ignore the remainder of the gospel. They're willing to ignore the remainder of what our public witness should be so that they could say that they're doing God's will, even if their version of God's will hurt so many other people. It's really an ends justifies the means. That's spiritual bypassing in the democratic marketplace. That's what it looks like. And at the end of the day, it's immoral because it's not just the ends that justifies the means. The entire process has to be moral and ethical. Thanks for taking time to watch. Remember to like and subscribe to Faithful Witness with Terrance Carroll podcast. And remember to tell the truth, seek justice, and love the people. This is Faithful Witness.
Subscribe to Faithful Witness and never miss an episode. See you next time.